crazy plan. I bring Cosmic Encounter with all 800,000 alien races. And because I'm probably going a little bit crazy, I just play myself. So it's like six-handed.
Are you running around like a stump?
Oh, absolutely.
Acting like somebody else? Do you have Wilson the volleyball?
Yeah, exactly.
Wrong. In the moment, you're like, I hate you. Like, we're never going to be friends again. You betrayed me. Eli, we're just going to attack each other every time.
Sometimes I want to play 10 and I just want to be a farmer and I just want to hang out. Sometimes I want to shoot you with a gun, and that's okay.
So for me, the why is 100% just spending time with my friends, doing something that's fun, getting the opportunity to play more board games. Yeah, that's what it's all about for me.
Today, my guests are a collective. In fact, they are a quarter of a collective that comes together to create content on The Grove. The Grove is a channel of, I don't think we actually nailed it down, like 10 to 13, maybe 14 people if they accept me by the end. I don't know, it may go up to 15, I don't know. But they all come together to create content, to play games, and basically as an excuse to be a community around the thing they all love, which is board games. And that comes through in the content. In fact, that's why I reached out to them, because I recently fell in love with their channel. I really love all of the different dynamics that they have together. And I think that this is a special channel that deserves a ton of subscribers, frankly. In fact, right now, stop the video, go subscribe to them. You won't be disappointed. We get into how this collective came about, how they all met. We get into TI4, we get into Take That games and rivalries. We get into all kinds of stuff. Plenty of meandering. It was a really entertaining discussion that I hope comes through to you, and I really think it will. I think it was an absolutely wonderful time. And without further ado, let's welcome Eli, Matt, Robert from The Grove to the Board Game Secret Show. First off, thanks everyone. I mean, I have Matt, I have Robert, I have Eli, which is actually a minority of The Grove. So thank you very much for being here on the Board Game Secret Show, a show that nobody really knows about, and I don't even know why you guys did it. So thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
we're excited.
Thank you for having us.
We just cold open here. We just kind of what I'm going to try to do today is get as many clips, controversial things that you say. We're going to montage them in the middle. So hopefully I can get like on a 2-hour video, 5 or 6 minutes retention. Are we good with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
We just start. I have a rough structure, but the more meandering we do, the better. The more we don't talk about board games, the better. And then we'll just kind of go from there. But all my questions are basically around board games. I have
a question for you.
Yeah, I don't have at it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we said we don't want to talk about, we want to talk about board games, but a little bit less.
No, we'll talk about board games. I was messing around.
Yeah. This is a hypothetical, right?
Okay.
If you get $10,000 every single day, but you must eat one hot dog every 24 hours. As long as you eat the hot dog, you're good. But if you don't, you die.
Okay, so how many days does a hot dog take off my life?
That's a good question. I
know there is science behind
it.
I thought.
Yeah, that's it. It's on you to do the research. Do you want the money in exchange for hot dogs? Yes or no?
Are you saying all I have to do is eat one of the best foods there is for 10 grand a day?
Yeah,
for sure.
You could just.
I was actually recently laid off, so then all I'll have to do is be like, "Hey, let's just go get some hot dogs," and I never have to get a job again.
True. Yeah, and then it's a kind of a win-win, unless you're right and you do lose like 2 minutes every single hot dog, in which case,
because that is a stat out there, and I thought you were about to hit me with, okay, well now you only have 4 years to live, and I was like,
no, we love hypotheticals.
Your family's gonna be okay.
Yeah, they're going to be very comfortable.
Okay, let's do this. Hypothetical on board games. You have one board game to take to a desert island. Eli, what are you taking?
I'm probably going to take 10 from IV Studio, because that's like my go-to solo game.
You have 100 plays of 10, right? Or over 100 plays?
Yeah,
I watch your videos.
Yeah.
Your top 10 is wild when you look at 10 sitting up there compared with all of those other games.
It's just so cozy. I love it.
I love roll and writes. I have not been able to get my hands on 10 yet. It does look like the copy you have is the full-fledged, like, because I saw the shiny box. You got everything.
Gotta go super deluxe.
Which is the world's most expensive roll and write, right? Or and write, verb and write.
Yeah, it's very very expensive, but it's very overproduced, so it balances.
And the funny thing is in our group, you know, I believe all three of us at least have the like deluxe version, which means that we can just locally put on a 72 player game of 10. But
you have plenty of sheets, right? You're not going to run out of sheets between you all.
Yeah.
Right?
Not anytime
soon. I ordered two super deluxes myself, and I was like, I'll play enough to justify it, and then that didn't happen. So I ended up selling the extra copy.
Why did you?
Why did you admit?
I can tell you, it was more cost effective. By the time you added additional markers and the extra stuff, it was like, okay, if I just buy a whole new game, I'm spending like $15 extra, and then I've got like an extra box in case it gets dinged up. I used to be a lot more particular about my board games, and I've since we started the channel, that's fallen off. I'm just like, you know what? If the box has got a hole in it, that's fine. You know, it's fine.
Dude, I think that's girl math right there. Like that's some crazy board gamer math, and I like it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
All right, so 10 it is. You're playing by yourself 10 the rest of your life. Yeah. That's it. They're not playing anything else. All right, Robert.
That would be.
Oof. Okay, I'm by myself. That changes things. Like, we had a group.
Literally nobody is there. I know you guys are used to your group. You know, I'm always stuck in this little shed by myself, so I'm used to this.
Blood on the clock tower.
I was just say if I had a group, it's TI4. But gosh,
and we'll talk about TI4.
Oh yeah. Honestly, if I'm by myself, probably Voidfall or Cloudspire right now.
Voidfall is such a good pick there. I think that is one of the best solo games I've ever played. Like that is, and I think in my review, that's what I had talked about is I love it as a solo game because playing with people, I could frankly just be on the other side of the map and just, you know, not even pay attention to them whatsoever.
For sure.
That's the one downfall on it. But okay, I like Voidfall. All right, Matt, you can't pick TI4.
All right. Solo's hard. I don't play that many solo games.
You're gonna have to do it now, man. You're on a desert island by yourself.
What? You know, crazy plan. I bring Cosmic Encounter with all 800,000 alien races, and because I'm probably going a little bit crazy, I just play myself. So it's like
play yourself.
Six-handed.
Are you running around like a stump?
Oh, absolutely.
Acting like somebody else? Do you have Wilson the volleyball?
Yeah, exactly.
And look, just getting mad at myself, like, I can't believe you're invading my planet. I have to run all the way back around and be like, but it has to be done.
Yeah, and you're punching the volleyballs all over the island. You're going to start losing them. They're going to float away. I would have picked something a little nicer because you're going to start losing those friends of yours.
Well, how long do I really want to survive?
Yeah, I know,
That's
right?
True.
It's easy because, you know, you're on a desert island and you need something to last. Like this is it. If you're dealing with cardboard, it's over. So we're doing neoprene, heavy chips. Too Many Bones is like my first solo love, and in fact, in general, I played a lot of solo stuff and I've covered a lot on the channel, but it's not my type. I like more interactive, you know, full-fledged, like going after each other's throat. But Too Many Bones, I can play it in the water. The salt is not going to damage it too much. I do have to watch out for some sun fading on those mats, but yeah, it's going to be Too Many Bones. I've got my trove chest behind me. I have enough gameplay to last me however long I'm there, so it's going to be Too Many Bones for sure.
That's a good one. We've always joked that Chip Theory is like the one publisher you can actually play on a boat. If you're like on a float trip down the river, bring a Chip Theory game. You can get it done.
100%. That's why Cloudspire would have been good.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
But now all of your stuff is going to fall apart.
Float.
Yeah. You all have a good. I mean, because the that like seawater and you know spray and all that stuff. You're gonna have storms. All of your games are done. Within the first year.
10 was probably a terrible choice. Like one rain.
And you're just out of mats.
You're gonna have to bury it every time in between plays. Like, get a map,
That's fine.
mark
That'll
it,
probably make me more
okay.
productive.
I put it by the coconut tree, you know. And it's just
I'm sure Eli has everything memorized. He could make his own sheets like in the sand. He'll be fine.
I think I could. Yeah, it'd be good. I could work on some expansions. You know, we could cook. We could.
Do you think you would end up making some form of game while you're there? You'd have to, right?
Yeah, I feel like you'd have to, because that's like looping back to hypotheticals. I'll see some that's like, would you turn into a rock for 1,000,000 years, and then at the end of it you get $1 billion, and it's like, dude, I can't have my brain off for longer than like 30 minutes without really losing it. So I have to noodle on something,
Yeah.
I don't know. Something I was trying to think, is there a good game that would teach me the survival skills I need, like a cheat code, But I can't think of any like that.
Robinson Crusoe.
Off the top of my head.
Yeah, Matt, we lost you, but now you have to make a game on the desert island. Go.
Oh,
what are you gonna make?
Make a game on the desert island. I mean, tic-tac-toe with some rocks. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I don't know.
Man.
I think maybe like Stone Saga. I know we just did a lot of stuff on Stone Saga, so it's like something that's like, all right, the Stone Age. How do I make fire with flint and steel? Let's go.
Well, but would it feel?
About the...
Go ahead, Eli.
I was going to say we've talked about the series where we play like on location. So I'm trying to think of like what would be a good game to recreate across an entire desert island, right? I think Calypso would be
Camel Up.
If you got Camel Up, yeah. If you could find camels on the island, yeah. Yeah, there's like, I don't know. Mine would probably be basic. I'd just do something like chess.
Yeah. I mean, Robinson Crusoe is like the game, right?
That's
true.
That's true.
That is the one.
I guess chess is done.
Yes. Speaking of Stone Saga, that was like the most recent video I watched of you all, and I was I honestly hadn't given it one look before, but then you started talking about the crafting system and being able to like independently essentially take your turns and go and like delve or whatever it was called, forage and all that stuff. That seemed pretty cool. And I talked to my last guest, Kanji, and he loved it as well. So I think I'm gonna have to go grab it now.
Yeah, there's honestly like not to plug too much, but there's like really good deals on BGG for copies from people, because like everyone's guilty of just backing a bunch of games on Kickstarter, and then a big legacy game shows up and they're like, oh, it turns out I don't have 30 hours to play this game. There's a bunch, like I saw someone was selling it all in for like $65, and it's like,
oh, are you serious?
It's worth that space. It's gone now. It's sold way fast, like within the day. But no, it's cool. It's one of the most innovative crafting systems I've ever experienced in a game. And Becca is not super into legacy games that are like generative storytelling, because she doesn't have what's the aphantasia, like the lack of, not lack of imagination, but the inability to visualize things super in depth. So for her to love it, it really speaks to how well it does the story and just like how fun the experience is.
Well, I didn't know there was a word for that. I think I have that as well. I can't. I've had a hard time getting into narrative-based games unless they have a good mechanical hook. Sleeping Gods, Distant Skies was like my first this is what a narrative game should be. And it was because I really liked the battling. I felt like it was really puzzling, kind of something I was into, and it kept me going to get more cards or weapons or whatever. But I wonder if that relates also to just like how much of a visual learner you are versus like being able to just read a rule book and pick it up. Like I have to watch the how to plays. In fact, I've watched your how to plays. That's how I found you all. Was the Holiday Hills how to play actually. So that's I'm fully visual, and if I'm reading a rule book, I have to have the game out on the table.
Oh yeah, like I'm that way. I want the game in front of me. Like even watching a video, like I want the game in front of me to like feel the pieces and like, okay, that's what they're talking about whenever they say the diplomacy track or whatever.
Yeah, when I watch how to plays, I really appreciate when there's a high kind of global view and then it zooms in rather than cuts, because the cuts I don't know where you're looking. I don't know where this is. I don't know where like relative to the board. That's why having it in front of me is so important, because I can kind of like find everything. But I don't just read rule books. I have a hard time or it just takes me longer.
Yeah,
I can read.
It's a real thing. Yeah, it's like the test to see because there's like levels to it. I have the opposite of aphantasia. I have hyperphantasia, I think is the name for it, and it's like I can visualize like color, like I can picture myself holding an apple and like turning it in my hand and seeing the light reflect off of it, and like even like taking a bite of the apple, getting a little of the taste and stuff like that. Yeah, see what you can do. Like picture you're holding your hand out.
You know, he's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hold the apple in your hand? Do you see an apple at all?
I do, but it's not clear. It's just it's like my mind's flickering. You know, it's like I can't watch it all the way through. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like studies on it. Ted has a really cool like 10-minute video breaking down hyperphantasia, aphantasia. It's interesting though because I'm the one in the group with it. And you said the thing about rule books, and I am like very good at digesting rule books just after reading it. So I wonder if that's
he is
part of it. I'm not thinking of that. Yeah,
very interesting. Do you have a photographic memory? Are you like Doogie Howser?
No. I wish. I don't have that. I have like I can picture like colors and like put like it's the opposite of useful because sometimes I'll daydream so hard that I just kind of get out of reality. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm in a field right now. No, I'm just at
so it doesn't make you rich. It's quite the opposite. No. You're just like off in your own world, like watching cool movies in your head.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's cool. It is cool.
Is that called schizophrenia?
No, I'm not hearing any voices or anything. So
I saw.
We got.
Go ahead.
So we got to watch out sometimes because sometimes one of us will daydream a rule exists that doesn't, and then we play it wrong. We got to go back and fix it.
Yeah, Eli, you're reading the rule book and you're hallucinating as you read it, so then you screw up the entire playthrough.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna say I saw
once or twice
on TikTok a schizophrenia simulator, and I have no idea if it's right. But man, it honestly freaked me out. Like I was like, oh gosh, I need to stop watching this because I felt like it was going to give me schizophrenia. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah. It's interesting. Beck and I, right after college, I don't know why we just don't like we don't like sitting around watching TV. I guess we like being way too busy. But right outside of college, we started a mental health nonprofit that like worked with people, like getting them connected with resources in Central Arkansas. And we did that. It was like a professional schizophrenia simulator. And it's meant to destigmatize it and everything. It was really interesting because of how like vivid the auditory hallucinations were. But yeah, I cannot imagine. We actually met a guy who he suffered from schizophrenia and then like overcame it through seeking help, medication, etc. And now he's like a really big advocate for it. And just like listening to him talk about that experience is like, oh my gosh, thankfully I don't have that. I just have really intense.
Oh yeah. So I guess maybe the TikTok simulator is sort of true because it was terrifying if like you have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of
if you're interested in
side quests, we sure will have already went on one right out of the gates.
Sure.
We've certainly lost 99%, but the 1% that are here,
it's okay.
We're gonna have a good time.
You're all the net.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's only the people that are schizophrenic. I don't know. Okay, so now on to my structured portion of the show. So last night I paused on one of your intros and I counted 10. Is it 10 including Robert? Robert, you were the cinematographer, or is there actually 11, or is there more now?
So Matt's actually the cinematographer.
Oh, Matt's cinematographer.
Ooh. Yeah, we could do the Brady Bunch thing. Matt,
okay.
And then
there you go.
Robert. Robert helps write scripts. I can't. Oh no. Yeah. Robert helps write scripts. It's fine.
Why are you pointing behind you? Why are you pointing behind you?
I'm just trying to figure it out. It's inverted. I'm not good.
It's mirrored. It's mirrored.
Yeah. We have, I think, in total 12.
Was it 12?
Yeah.
Then you better update that intro because I'm pretty sure I counted 10.
It might be.
Let me check real quick.
I should know this, right? But yeah, we've got a couple of buddies who they're in the intro. Nick and Austin. They're two of our buddies who live outside of Central Arkansas, so they're not in videos a ton. They've been in a few, but they're like awesome editors. They worked for Funhouse Games on YouTube for a while, and all of like the super zany, silly shorts that we do, that's them.
Yeah,
They
I
are
was
like
watching. I went through your
whizzes
shorts
with
today.
defense.
There were some nice edits in there.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
appreciate that. I started this channel really heavy on kind of like, oh, I'm going to make my name being the heavily edited channel and learn everything I could about anything to editing, and then it didn't equal to views. You just have to be interesting.
Absolutely.
It turns out.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that.
Sometimes that doesn't even work. Yeah,
No.
sometimes that doesn't even work, man. It's something we've noodled on a lot, is how to increase reach in a hyper niche. Because sometimes people are just like, oh, I'm gonna review cell phones, and then that gets clicks. But not the board game hobby's still growing. We still got to get people
100%.
into it. It's a little niche.
So it's easy, and I think I wanted to get into this later, but it doesn't matter. I like talking YouTube game. I like talking talking shop a little bit. But one thing you have to remember is, let's say you were in the video game space. You all are coming up on 2,000 subscribers. That's probably like 100,000 subscribers in the video game space, where there's multiple millions. Like some of the absolute, if you take out tabletop RPG, what is it, Dice Tower, a couple 100,000, right? Like it's
they're like 400 something.
You're 400 now. It's easy to fall into that, like, oh, 100 views, huh? Well, I mean, there's not that many board gamers out there, and board gamers watching YouTube on top of all that.
Seeking out niche games. But
so how did everyone meet? Like, this is so basically, selfishly, I wanted to have you on because I need more friends in my life. This is my audition to be part of your crew. You are in Arkansas and I'm in Seattle, so we're pretty far away, but I am looking for a job, so I might move to Arkansas. So tell me how you all met.
There you go. We all met in college. So funnily enough,
everyone
that's
kind of how I pictured it. I love it.
Yeah, Beck and I were talking about this a couple days ago, how lucky we are to have a friend group who, over the course of over 10 years now, which ages us a bit, but over 10 years, we've still managed to stay in touch and all remain super, super close friends. I think the latecomers were Nick and... Actually, no, I've known... Robert, how long have we known Nick?
We've known each other 13 years. We've known Nick for almost 9 then, probably? 8 or 9.
That's crazy. So, basically, we've known Nick as long as PUBG, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, has been out. We started playing out with them.
Well, it comes through on the video. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah. I was going to say, the fun fact is that Eli and Becca were RAs in the dorm that a lot of us lived in. Not everyone, but a lot
Were
of
they
us.
Good RAs or bad RAs?
Becca was an incredible RA.
Becca was great.
Becca was incredible.
Hey! I was such a good RA that I got the policy in the housing department changed because I was doing too good a job making friends with my residents. Because there was a financial incentive to hang out with your residents, and every single time you hung out with your residents, you could file for it was called an impromptu event or something. And I would file every single time because I'd always have 10 people hanging out in my room. And then they were like, "You can't do that because now you're just hanging out with your friends and charging us for it." And that's
what's the
what
point?
the grow's all about.
What's the point? You literally hacked the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So did you come out of college completely rich playing that game?
Oh no. I think it happened twice. I got $100, $50 out of it, and then that was the end of it.
It all went to Taco Bell runs.
Oh,
midnight Taco Bell runs.
It sure did.
I'm a big fan of Taco Bell, but let's just agree, the prices have gotten out of hand. What happened to Taco Bell?
Insane.
Outrageous. I agree. That is something I could rant about.
Taco Bell.
It's crazy, dude. Becca and I went there, and I know I keep saying Becca and I, we're married. It's a qualifier. Just assume she's always with me.
Yeah.
Becca and I went to Taco Bell, and it cost $34. That is as much as an actual restaurant. It's fine.
Oh, 100%.
It makes me very mad.
Yeah, it's tough.
Sometimes I just Google old pictures. I literally do this. Old pictures of Taco Bell. I've Googled old pictures of Taco Bell receipts just to make myself feel bad after I take my family to Taco Bell, and I paid $60, and I'm going, what the hell?
Yeah.
And I've got a boy in high school, and he spends $20 at Taco Bell, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Jeez.
We can't afford Taco Bell as a family.
Yeah.
Like, what does this world come to when you can't take your family to Taco Bell? My parents used to get these giant boxes of tacos, and we would all be fed for under $10.
Oh yeah. The taco party pack, like 20 tacos for $10, dude.
Right. I mean,
What
what is it? McDonald's. A McDonald's meal is now more expensive than Chipotle.
Yes.
Like, why,
dude? It's like
the Costco hot dog is the only thing that remains, stalwart.
Right.
In the cheap.
And I'm going to eat that every day. And
every day
$10,000.
And make $10,000.
That's right.
So it's actually a really big boon. It's the only thing that makes sense in this world anymore is the Costco hot dog.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say Taco Bell's kind of killing it. It's still pretty good.
Right.
It's good. It's good. Beck and I, we stopped eating it in like January, and then we ate it again in March, and then we were like, oh, we can't go back to this. We've something about, we hit that 30-year-old mark, and then our bodies are just like, nope, you can't do it. You can't handle it.
You just got to get the vegetarian stuff. Just get the vegetarian stuff.
That's true.
Well,
we have Don Pepe's
it might all be vegetarian if we're honest. Like, is that stuff really meat?
They did get sued. They did get sued for having too much wood chips.
Silica. Sand.
Silica. It was a filler.
It's literally filler. So they can't even call it beef or something. Like they have to
call it meat product or something. Yeah. Hey, it's good meat product. Let's be honest.
How genius is it that you can make me spend $15 at Taco Bell and only give me meat product? I could literally go to the grocery store and get a prime ribeye for that same price. Yeah. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go to Taco Bell and get some meat filler. Yeah.
That's the stuff, that the preservative they add to it to make it addictive, but it works.
Yes, it does.
Works.
All right, so we're gonna mark it. That is
kind of slap.
The second side quest of the day. We're gonna try to get to 10. If we don't get to 10, we can't cash in the goals at the end of the game. All right, so you all met in college. When did board games enter the picture? And did everyone kind of fall at the same time, or was it like this slow? Whatever. I'm losing my words. This slow meld.
I started in college with actually a different group of friends. It's kind of Cosmic Encounter drug me into it. And it's kind of, I had kind of fallen out of Eli and Robert and the Groves gang of friends until board games kind of I would still go to Christmas parties and Halloween parties and whatnot, and play the occasional shooter. Me and Eli played a bunch of Hunt Showdown.
That's true.
But yeah, I had gone into board games separately, and that ended up dragging me back, which I'm thankful for. And started playing on TTS with these guys again, and that's how I got.
It was like TTS is kind of like what started bringing some people together. Certainly not all 12, right?
No, I think
no, not everyone.
Yeah, Becca really was just kind of moderately into board games up until 3 years ago, whenever we played Moonrakers for the first time, and she really, really enjoyed Moonrakers from Ivy Studio. Because it was we had played Catan and we had played Wingspan and all the basic things. Robert and I, our first,
we got thrown into the fire.
Yeah, our first one outside of Austin, one of the guys on the channel. He told us one weekend, he was like, "Hey, there's this game. It takes about 8 to 12 hours to play. It's heavily asymmetric. It's TI4." And he was like, "You guys want to play it?" And we were like, "Yeah, absolutely, we want to do it."
Sure.
And that's we started with TI4 and then started playing Wingspan and Catan afterwards. But
insane. Okay, so I've never played TI4. Convince me now why I need to hop in my car tomorrow and drive straight to Arkansas to play TI4 with you.
You want to take it, Robert?
So
you want to hit him with the
TI4 can only be described as an experience. All right. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. As someone like yourself who has issues visualizing stuff, it's one of the few games that we can look back on. I've gone through we have a whole Discord just for TI games. and I'll go back and just read the stories that happen to it, because we'll be chatting to each other and it'll be like, all right, well, I'm making this alliance with Eli, but secretly on the side, I'm with our friend Dylan, and he's going to invade Eli. And I could just actually visualize what happened in those games, which is so hard for me to do. And it's all just so much fun. And it's stressful in the time, no wrong. In the moment, you're like, I hate you. Like, we're never going to be friends again. You betrayed me. Eli, we're just going to attack each other every time. Our friend Nate and I can never be in a team. But it's just something special. It has flaws, but it's one of those things where you can overlook the flaws, or at least I can, just because to me it's so special, and it's truly one of the few games I can rate a 10 out of 10.
Now, you say it has flaws. Eli, I believe it was maybe a top 10 25 video. It was the TI, the newest expansion. Does that fix any of those flaws?
Yes.
Most of them. Yeah.
Would you start with
genuinely?
Yes.
I would say like genuinely almost every. I mean, for me, every single one of them. Like the biggest problem that I had with TI4 was that it was starting to show its age. Like the tech tree was kind of outdated, and it was just kind of like there was a meta that had formed where if you played TI4 a lot, like the tech path that everyone's going to go, and like typically the deals that are going to come out, and like it's like once you've played it 30, 40 times, however many times we played it, you can kind of just tell what's going to happen for like the first 6 hours, and then it's like the last 2 hours that really make a difference. Thunder's Edge fixed all of it in like a really cool way. It also made it like modular where you can play the game a lot faster, and there's like new mechanics that got introduced that are super cool, because like one of the things with TI4 is you couldn't previously coexist in the same system. Like if I move into the hex where you're at, we have to fight. Like mechanically we have to, and now that's no longer a thing. And the coolest thing to me are you get these rule cards that you can pick and play with as many as you want. There's like 40 or something in the expansion, and
the
you
Galactic
can just
events.
toss it in. And it basically thematically talks. It's like this is the event that's happening galaxy wide, and then there's some flavor text on it, but it's basically like a rule modifier, and they can be like, hey, you can trade your technology now. And literally just that is like, oh my gosh, dude, so much fresh life into the game. Because it's like, before you couldn't do that. It was you had to figure out ways to progress up the tech tree. But now, like in the first round, you can start trading tech to each other, and then people can have like their engines online 2 to 3 hours earlier than they normally would. Or if you don't want to play a 12-hour game, there's rules that fix that and make it like, I think there were some people on Reddit saying they played it in as short as like 3.5, 4 hours. Which is awesome.
I've seen some people do like 3 to 4, some even shorter, but those are like the ones that have played it hundreds of times, but it's,
What's the minimum player count you'd recommend?
No, 6.
6?
Yeah. It's 6.
4 can be good. The issue with 4 is in TI4 you get these special cards that just allow you to do different things. And at there's 8 of them. In 6-player, you're getting 6 of them out on the board. So these actions can only pretty much be done if the card's available. In 4-player, everybody gets 2. So every action's available. So it kind of takes away some of that limiting factor. There still is some because you have to spend resources to use them. But some people really enjoy it at 4. I'm mainly a 6 person. We've done a lot of 5. 5's not it. It'd be 4 or 6.
No, 5 sucks. 5. It's TI4. It's still a great experience, but like, it's one of those things. It's like if I'm having a lobster dinner or a steak dinner, I want my steak rare. Will I complain about a medium rare steak? No, it's still a good steak, but I like my steaks rare. 6 players is rare. 4. Let's say medium well. I think 5 is like well done. Like it's hamburger meat.
So if you are about to get into a game of 4 and I knock on the door out of nowhere, driving through the night, you're going to be a little disappointed because you have to play it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
We're still playing TF4. No, it's one of those things. Like I said, you're still having a steak dinner. It's still great, and that's the thing is like, it's such like what Robert said. It's such an experience. Even at 5, the reason it's rough at 5, and this is another thing that Thunder's Edge addresses a bit. there's a meta that's formed in TI that's called support swapping. It's basically you have a card, like the goal is to get to 10 points in a standard game. But you have your support for the throne, and it's basically if I give you my support for the throne, it's thematically like my faction is publicly announcing that they support you. And that has enough influence where you get a point out of it. So it's very common for people to, as the game progresses and like partnerships start to form, they give each other their supports. It's called a support swap. And so it's like the way that the support swap works is we can no longer attack each other because if I give you my support for the throne and you give me yours, and then I attack you, I have to give yours back and I lose that point. So it kind of locks us into a truce. Usually you can play around it in some games, but in a 5-player game, 2 groups of 2 will support swap, and then there will be one person who's just like super behind on tempo. And that's like a single point in TI4 is really hard to make up. Like you want to be on tempo across all the rounds.
Yeah.
What's a winning score in TI4? Or is it
10. You're 10 in a standard game?
You're trying to get to 10.
Yeah. First person to 10 and game ends it. Yeah. Or if you're crazy, you can do 14.
No. Yeah, that makes it.
We're doing a 14-game alliance one day.
Yeah.
No, our 10-point games in person usually go 12 to 14 hours because if you haven't caught on yet, we like to talk. Which turns a heavy negotiation game into it's a ton of fun, but it is all day. So
do you talk game the whole time, or are you just all over the place and that's what's taking so long?
We talk game the whole time. We do have a rule. When we have lunch break, we can't talk game. So we can't be making little secret alliances and doing this during lunch because it's not open. It's not open that's happening.
Can you whisper during the game? Can you like literally,
Oh yeah. And we'll pull each other. We'll pull each other to the side, but it's like everybody knows we've done that. Like if I pull Robert to the side and say we're attacking Eli, everyone has seen us walk away, so they know we're together, like on something.
The pro move is to text about it. Because then it's like, oh, well, you're just checking your phone.
That is.
And that's fair. That's fair game. That's fair game because like you might not necessarily intercept those communications if you're sly about it. It's amazing.
On TTS, I've messaged Eli, just saying hi, and then message the person I'm actually like, hey, he's trying to form an alliance with me. Get him.
Yeah, and it's worked. It's worked. One time, and then the fun thing too is you can intentionally send somebody something and say, "Oops, sorry, wrong person."
Yep.
And then you're not actually forming a deal with anybody; you're just messing with them. The psychological torment that you can cause in a game of TI is incredible.
I think.
Let me paint you a picture.
All right, go ahead.
Let me paint. This is my last thing I'll say about it, and then I'll get.
No, we can keep going.
But okay, there's a faction, one of my favorites. They're called the Embers of Muaat. I won't get into the lore. The only thing you need to know is that in the Prophecy of Kings expansion, it introduces like an extra layer of asymmetry. Everyone gets what's called a hero, and the heroes have like these usually really impactful once per game abilities. Embers of Muaat has a galactic nuke, and what they can do is they move in, and it says to pick up the hex they moved into, move that and everything on it completely out of the game, and then replace it with a giant supernova, like an exploded star. And that's just, like, if you're not convinced at the thought of being able to like space nuke somebody, I don't know what's going to do it for you.
I was convinced before. Now I'm just like, how do I play this freaking game? Like, it's perfect timing. No job. Will you play TI4?
Yeah.
Like there's
100%.
There's nothing better. I love above the table storytelling. I love the table talk. I love the negotiation. I love it. Recently, I played. Have you guys played Lords of Vegas at all?
No. I've seen playthroughs on it, but I've never played it.
Yeah, I was in Dice Tower West in Vegas, of course, and played Lords of Vegas. Nice. I met these guys, and we were just going back and forth, stealing each other's casinos, like pulling shady moves. In that game, everything, any deal is okay. Like you can trade and make any sort of deal, future promises, all of that stuff. And it was such a blast. And the cool thing was the alliances and rivalries actually followed from game to game. We played this like 5 times during Dice Tower West. So as we started playing other games, we would be starting pissed at one person, and we're like, okay, this is going to be the game. We're going to be friends, right? And or not. And it was just like the stories that you could tell from one game to the next were incredible. Do you find that with TI4, like where you're, one game is bleeding into the next, or like, you start to understand how a certain player plays, and they're just always shady, so you're always out to get them?
Oh, 100%.
I will say we try, keyword try, to not carry game to game hate like over games, just mainly because it's like, hey, we play TI4 like twice a year. Mm-hmm. If something crappy happened last time, it's all just for the love of the game, we do a very bad job of it.
You say it, but it's always in your head. Yeah. It's always in your head that he stabbed you in your back the last time. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. For sure.
The layers of trust can definitely fall, game to game, where you're like, well, I trust you, I guess.
The other thing that sold me on this is you mentioned 10 points is the winning score. I love, like Dune Imperium, I love games with very low point totals that you are going, where every point feels like it was so incredibly difficult, especially when the points can be taken away, like in Dune. Right. I don't know if that can happen in TI4, but sometimes it adds to that kind of story that's being told, and that drama and that tension. And if you're in a 14-hour day doing this, I could imagine like your heart starts to beat a little bit sometimes, right?
Oh yeah.
For sure. I've had moments where it's shaking, like.
If you're trying to be sneaky too, oh my goodness! Like there was one of our last games we played in person. I know it was like me and Robert were both on the edge of winning, and I had this really sneaky play that like for about an hour nobody had caught it, but it just kept going, and finally somebody saw like my winning move and said, "Whoa, wait, we can't let Matt do that." And like the entire, there was an hour of adrenaline.
So you kind of had checkmate for an hour, essentially.
Yeah, without calling it out, because if I called
how insane is that statement? For an hour, I had a path to victory that nobody could see.
Yeah.
But then they found out, right? Like if in any other game, if you have a path to victory for an hour, you're probably going to win. That's cool. So you only play 2 times a year?
We used to play a lot more, but with the grow and just like us being older, it's a little bit tougher. But we have a big 3D printed trophy that's one of the units of the game. It's like it's called a War Sun. It's like the Death Star, basically. But it's a big trophy, and then the winner of the game, Robert, I think you actually have the most,
I'm going to have Jess bring it in.
Right? Yeah. But Robert won the last one. But we try to meet like 2 times a year. We'd like to do it more, but we've kind of hit that point where there are so many games to play that sometimes I don't want to only play TI4 if we're getting together for a full weekend of playing games, mainly because we discovered Blood on the Clock Tower. That's honest, if we're being honest, that's kind of like
that did steal a lot of days.
I think you might be like one of the only game groups in the US that can actually discover Blood on the Clock Tower and just like get a game spun together with your game group. That's pretty special.
Yeah. Super cool.
Does everybody
we have a really solid group?
Yeah.
And we even have about, I would say, 6 to 10 non like the grow. Oh yeah, there's the trophy. Look at that.
Let me see.
Look at that. That's cool. Nice. Yeah. We have. It's coming home with me next time, Robert. Oh yeah. It's coming home.
I think you all need. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah. Well, I was going to jump back to Blood on the Clock Tower. But,
go ahead.
Just that we have a large group of people who can play even outside the Grove. I know, like our local board game cafe. The folks who run that, like they like to be able to get away from the board game cafe and come play with us, and just a couple of other friends that are like, I'm all in on Blood on the Clock Tower. I think that's the beauty of social deduction, is that like you can get non-board gamers into it fairly easily.
Right.
It's less of a sell than 12 hours of TI4. Like,
right. You do
6 hours
personality right? You need a certain personality that doesn't mind the lying. But it's honestly, I don't think there's anything that brings people together more than a good social deduction game.
I agree. I really do. Yeah. I think it's one of those things where you just have to be able to, like, there are people that I've played with who have a hard time separating the intent of the game against the intent of the person. It's like, I'm not lying to you because I'm a bad person. I'm lying to you because it's the game. So, like, in a worker placement game, I'm not going to call you a bad person because you went to the same spot. I mean, I probably am going to call you a bad person if you took the spot I wanted. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh, I will. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, absolutely.
And I'm going to assume you did that just to take my spot.
I probably did, if we're being honest.
I brought.
I definitely. I've been on rides home with my fiance after a game of Blood on the Clock Tower, and she's just like, "I can't believe you lied to me for 2 hours." Yeah. Like, I can't believe. I'm just like, "Look, it's the game," and of course, she doesn't mean it. She understands it's the game, but it's just like,
all right. Matt, neither of us should ever be trusted in Blood on the Clock Tower at any point.
It's true. It's true. You guys.
I mean, haven't you all got to the point where everybody stabbed everyone at this point in some game or another? You know, so it's kind of
yes. It's just that Nick and I can more consistently make people believe us. So
gaslighting
feels a little more hurtful, I guess, to them. Yeah.
Matt and Robert typically run the show. Becca and I storytell. So we do a thing. We usually have, like Matt said, when we do board game events or like just, hey, come play board games, we'll have like the Grove crew plus like 10 sometimes other people. So like we did an event over MLK weekend where it was just like, hey, we're not filming anything, show up, let's just hang out. And I think we had like 18 people show up. But for Blood on the Clock Tower, Becca and I both storytell. So she'll go off and like have her notepad and follow people around, and then I'll go off and do the same thing. And it makes for a really cohesive experience because we've got 12 people playing. I can check in on 6, she'll check in on 6, and then we'll get back together, kind of get the narrative going. But we also go all out. Like we have custom lights in our house that, like, if evil wins, we can make everything red, or if blue wins, or if good wins, we make everything blue. And we like put music on, and like we get into it. We have like candles to represent everybody's life, and a fake clock tower and all this stuff. But we try to get into it. It's a lot of fun.
And we had an alum of the show. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So we had an alum of the show, Mr. Chris Porter himself, got to come play Blood on the Clock Tower with us.
That's awesome. Is he close to you? I mean, he's in Tennessee, right next door, right?
He's in Memphis, so he's actually coming over.
A few
on
hours.
Sunday. We're gonna, he's coming down on Sunday. We're gonna play his new game, Headliner, which is about like forming a rock band, which is super cool.
Yeah, he was telling me about
play that and just like relax. Yeah, it's cool.
I love Chris. I love what Chris Couch Games is doing. I was a huge fan of Holiday Hills. I'm a huge fan of. I liked Pedal. I loved Garden Club.
Garden Club's so good.
I thought so too. Like I was talking to Board Game Co. and he thought Pedal was so much better. I'm like, are you high? Like I felt like
that's crazy. Interesting.
It really was.
I wouldn't say crazy. It's different strokes for different folks, but the amount of trash talking that Becca and I like, you would have thought that I was ready to throw my wife out of a window over some strawberries. And that's
100%.
My opinion.
Yeah. I think it comes down to personal taste, right? Because I think he cited the tool cards as not liking having too many tool cards or whatever. Tool cards might be a little out of balance, but I love the tool cards. That's the take that mechanism that makes it so fun. Yeah. That makes the game dynamic. Absolutely. That makes it way better than Pedal, right? Like I loved it. Yeah. And then he told me that he had like chainsaws and these other things that these kind of like random tools.
Cut down people's trellises and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. Yeah, well, as soon as he said that, I was like, my wife is always putting trellises out early. And it drives me insane because I forget I even have a trellis. Sometimes I end without even putting a trellis out. So if I had a chainsaw, I would be chopping them down left and right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then it's cool too. What I love about Chris is he is what I think the term he uses is like kitchen sink designer. So he'll like make a game and then he'll be like, ooh, I want to make like 4 expansions off of it. And they're just like tiny little, the rules is like on a card, not a ton of overhead. and you can just mix and match and really make the game that you want to play, which is great. Because like I love super, super, super heavy games, and Becca likes more middleweight games. So if we can mix and match, and if we start that middleweight and then slowly add more stuff so it gets heavier, I love that system. I think he does a really good job with that.
Right. Well, Holiday Hills, I appreciate that there's naughty and nice, but I'm only playing naughty. Yeah. I'm never gonna play.
Oh
nice.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's such a brutal mode too. I love it.
It's another reason why I love his games is because he does have there's take that mechanisms in there. They're not overwhelming, but I feel like that makes board games so much more dynamic when there's board interaction, dynamic play states. It's constantly changing, but I really recognize some people just hate having their party ruined. I love to mess up your game. I was playing Arcs the other day. It was the last one we played, and I realized that I was just out of the gates, just not doing well. And I was like, you know what? All I'm going to do is mess with you, Eric. I'm literally just going to do everything I can to make you lose. And a lot of people hate that about, Cole Worley's games in particular, king making and all of that stuff. But I love that. It's so good.
Yeah, it's part of it. Part of it. That's like one of the things is sometimes I want to play 10, and we talked about how weird my top 10 list is. Sometimes I want to play 10 and I just want to be a farmer and I just want to hang out. Sometimes I want to shoot you with a gun, and that's okay. It's just pick the flavor you're feeling.
Yeah, you have where are these reviews? Twilight Imperium, Tend, Castles of Burgundy, The Nemesis, Slay the Spire, Breakers, Anarchy, Blood on the Clock Tower, and you are not shy about giving tens. A lot of people
I
don't give tens because there's nowhere to go up. What if something better comes out?
Yeah. I think you have to look at stuff because this we kind of loop back to we can loop back to Chris Couch games. You have to look at a game for what it is trying to do, and I know that there are reviewers who try to look at a game versus the broader market, which is a consideration. There's so many games being produced. You need to consider, can other games offer what this game is offering, better, cheaper, and in a better experience, what have you. I love looking at a game and I've played this several times. Would I ever tell someone that I don't want to play it? If someone came up to me and said, "Hey, I want to play Castles of Burgundy," and I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." I would play Castles of Burgundy 40 times in a row, and I'd be so excited. Nimbus the same way, Slay the Spire same way, Blood on the Clock Tower the same way. I know that things can get better, but reserving a 10 for that feels just kind of arbitrary. I think if a game gives you that feeling of really loving it and enjoying it, it's okay to give stuff 10s, and then also it's okay to go back and say, hey, I gave Brink from Ivy Studio is one of the games. I think I gave it a 9.5. I give it a 7 now.
I noticed you're at a 7.5. I was going to ask about that. I thought you liked that more.
Yeah. It used to be one of my top ones, and I've played other games, and my tastes have changed, and that's okay. It's still fantastic. I think when people give reviews, I just feel like there's a magic in board games that when you try to quantify it, it gets lost a little bit. And so when I give reviews, I just try to keep that sense of wonder. Because at the end of the day, we're just playing with toys, right? If I'm having fun with this toy, it's a 10 out of 10,
Right.
For me, I know it's a 10 when I literally feel a buzzing in my brain. It starts to vibrate a little bit and I enter flow state and I'm so excited for my next turn. I can't wait. I'm getting pissed at the next person for taking too long, even at a 30-second mark. And I'm just oh, and there's just so much going on. And I'm like, okay, what lever can I pull? And then if I don't care that I would lose and I just want to say, what happens when I pull this and then this in this order? I don't care that my wife might be playing a better game. I just want to see what happens. And to me, that's a 10. Right. Is something that continues to give me that that feeling over time. But I do recognize, and I built in a cardboard, that preferences change, and not only preferences. Some games just have a shelf life. Wingspan was a 10 for me when I played Wingspan because it was the first designer board game I'd ever played. Yeah, it's not a 10 any longer. Right. It's probably a 7. Yeah. I think I might have it at a 7, 7.5. I still would play it if you ask me, but I'm not going to jump at it like I would Arcs, for example, or Barrage is another one that I absolutely love. But right now, I've just started playing a bunch of IV Studio stuff, and right now you asked me to play Brink. Boom, yeah, I want to play Brink. Like, you know, Fractured Sky. Boom, I'm in on Fractured Sky. Let's do it. Like, you know, but that changes over time, and I think that's where sometimes the audience, sometimes I'm pretty critical about board game reviewers, or at least thinking about how I review games, because a lot of times I'm reviewing it at the early part of the arc of me loving or hating a game, right?
Yeah, you're reviewing after probably 5 or less plays, which, you know, and usually that's the honeymoon period where you're like, this game's incredible. And
there's been countless 10s in the 5-play range for me. Where I'm just like, I'm thinking about them. Very few. Castles of Burgundy is one of them. We'll just like, Barrage is another. Root, Arcs, like those are some of my favorite games. Dune Imperium up to an extent. They're constantly kind of challenging me. It's the puzzle hasn't been solved. You know, typically they're highly dynamic social games because the play state is never, you know, it's never solved. You know, Barrage being a Euro, that board is constantly changing. There's constantly a new puzzle to solve. How do you all feel about, or like broadly speaking, as the Grove, like what's your stance on reviews? How many times you have to play a game? Like, do you have any sort of like structure or thought around that? Or is everyone different? You have 12 people, so.
Matt,
you want to take it?
Well, yeah, you know, I was just going to say that we've not, I don't know if I would say we've actually even done a review at this point.
I don't
at
know
least on
a
typical stance.
Well, we've
done lots of
Stone Saga was, I think, the first one we titled a review.
Yeah. I noticed that when I was looking through today.
Mainly because we've always been hesitant to, you know, stamp that like our opinion is broad, or like we've struggled with, is our opinion big enough? Like, have we played enough games? Have we played that game enough? Because like Stone Saga, Eli, you and Becca have played that at this point 20 hours, right? Before you went into that review. Whereas like, okay, we have a video coming up where I talk about Luthier by Patterson Games, and I've played it 3 times. 3 times is enough to talk about it. 3 times is not enough to give like.
You like it?
I really enjoy it. I love it.
And
the blind bidding, incredible.
Yeah.
But
there was
one of the things
that was a 10, by the way. Now it's probably like an 8 for me, but it's because I played it past 5. You know.
And that's what I even said in that video. Was that like, hey, after 3 plays, I love this game. Am I still going to love it after 10? I'm not sure. And so I would be hesitant to make a review having only played a game 3 times. I'm definitely in the camp, and with different play groups. Our play group, very often we've been told when we do play testing for games that we have a very different way of playing games than a lot of play groups. And because of that, like, you know, it could skew our, you know, an opinion of a game if we just play with the same 4 people. So that's how I feel. Eli, if you want to hop in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you mentioned the whole us not wanting to. When we first started this channel, we had played a lot of games, but like you look at someone like the Dice Tower, they've played thousands, tens of thousands at this point. So there was this hesitation for us to say like, oh, this is like the best game of all time, because we didn't have a lot of references. Like, oh, this is our favorite trick taker. I've played 3 trick takers, you know. So we tended to avoid reviews there for a little bit, but we also, I mean, speaking for myself, again, going back to the toy factor, the fact I could enjoy throwing rocks at each other if we're playing with our friends, you know, like, so for me is if I'm just going to inherently be biased and give stuff happy reviews. If I have a happy time with my friends, we've very rarely played a game. There have been a few games that we've played that we've been like, hey, we don't think this is the right fit for the channel. And that honestly is more because it just isn't the right fit for the channel than it's a bad game. But we don't want to give the perception that everything is positive. We're toying with the idea of like moving into more reviews with that new video that Matt talked about, kind of like rapid fire. But at the same time, like we're friends with a lot of designers, and I'm really, really slow to say negative things because I think for someone who's just a player and someone who isn't really on this side of things, when they don't like a game and they get like really mad about it, you're hurting someone, and not just financially, but like a lot of times that was a lot of effort and time that they put into it. So when I give reviews or I give feedback, I try to make it as constructive as possible because like, even for making playthroughs, we're putting ourselves out there, we're making ourselves vulnerable. We've had some like negative messages in the past from people on like Reddit or Facebook saying like, oh, you guys are just selling out and trying to push your channel. And it's like, no, we're just excited and happy. And I'm very hesitant to, disparage someone who put part of their heart and soul into a product.
Yeah, and how much money are you making right now to sell out and really push your channel?
None. We're none.
Yeah, exactly.
We're actually
that person shut up. Yeah.
Yeah. Building the studio.
This has been a big loss for me. Just to be clear for everybody, I'm looking at lots of equipment. Everything net loss, big time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's just pure passion, and I think going back to the whole like review stance and stuff, we're trying to get more into it and like giving our opinions still in a constructive way, but we want to fully avoid being a channel that engagement baits, if that makes sense. Like if we don't like a game, there's a really good chance we're just not going to put it on the channel.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, hey, another channel might like this more. I'm not going to get up. I think it's really irresponsible. I know that some channels do this, and that's just because it's the nature of the beast, but I think it's really irresponsible, like what Matt said, to play a game twice and then get up on a channel and be like, hey, I hated this. Because you could really hurt. I mean, that could be the difference between a publisher being able to continue to make games and not making games ever again. And that doesn't go for like the people who mismanage Kickstarters, which is a whole nother issue. Like that kind of stuff, like the industry problems, that's a different conversation. But when it comes to like an actual game that someone really worked hard on, I don't know. I'm just excited to be hanging out with my friends.
Yeah. What do you say to the people that say you have an obligation to the audience to say everything you're feeling about a game and report on the games you don't like?
Yeah, I hear that. So the games, and that's the thing, the games we don't like, I don't think we've really played. There was one that we played that wasn't ready yet. And so I think one, reviewing games that aren't fully developed, that's a waste of time. Like in my opinion, it's not ready. If it's ready, if it's in the prototype phase and it's on Kickstarter, that's different. But if it's a game that's like, hey, this is basically an alpha product, we don't even have art yet, I'm not going to review that. I think that's the only time we've played a game that we actively didn't enjoy. But it wasn't going to be available, so like there was no sense in us sharing our review. But
I think it's important to because we're slightly different, because as it's been said several times, there's 10 of us with 10
11.
Very different tastes.
I thought I heard 12. I'm so confused now.
I counted. There's 11 of us.
There's 11 now. Okay.
There's 11. 25.
I'm gonna have to put that in the show notes.
We lost a guy.
Give it a few days. We'll be at 12. You're coming. You're on board. You're in. Okay.
Maybe that's what that
was. You want to be more confused?
I was auditioning, and you were just making the count. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to be more confused, we've had 13 on the channel, but but there's 11 of us that do it most of the time.
As long as there's a seat for me, I don't care what the number is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Perfect. You're in.
Beautiful.
But just there's so many different takes, and like we have several people that like party games and light games. Like that's what they're all about. And so if they were to review, a speakeasy that we talk about in a video coming up, like they would say this game's not great because it's not for them.
It's so good,
and so it's just hard for it's hard for a group of 12 people to like have a unified voice in that front. And so there's a lot of games that you would say, well, you need to talk about the games you don't like. Well, I didn't like it, but Robert loved it. So like,
right.
should Robert talk about it or should I talk about it? Like,
that's a really, really good point. Like with you mentioned Wingspan. Like we recently did a playthrough for Stonemaier Games, and like Matt and Ashley love Wingspan, and Beck and I we enjoyed it. It's kind of a similar story. Like we loved it when we first played it. It's fallen off for us a little bit. The new expansion though is very good, but we fell off it a little bit, and we knew that Matt and Ashley would be better fits. So usually when we are showcasing something on the channel, we have a wide enough group where we're able to pick people who do enjoy it. My whole take with like, you have an obligation to report on games that you didn't like. We're not in that review space. We're mainly just in it like, we will play a game, and that should give you enough information on whether or not we like it. If we sit down and do a talking video, you should be able to ascertain if you like it. And as a consumer, as we've mentioned, like we are not making money off of this. We are in a lot of debt over the studio. As a consumer, I feel like you also have a responsibility yourself to figure out if you will like the game that you're going to buy. Like,
right.
Yeah, you don't. If somebody just telling you to like it is,
yeah, and I'm guilty of that too. I've watched plenty of videos where someone that I've trusted or a channel that I've watched a lot of. No Rules Barred comes to mind. Like I'll watch them play a game, and I'm like, oh, it looks fun. I'm going to buy it, and then it's not the right fit. But I'm not going to get mad at No Rules Barred because all they did was play it and just showcase it. And again, they're a friend group. They're just having fun. Like again, we could play. Throwing my cousins and I grew up. We played throwing walnuts at each other. We literally called them walnut fights. Growing up in the country, that's what we had access to. So, but we had walnut fights, and that was a blast. And you know what? That is my mentality for this stuff too. I'm just having fun. It's a 10.
Well, yeah, if that's a 10, I'm never listening to anything you have to say again. You're completely compromised. I didn't grow up in the
probably
country.
Throw all the walnuts.
Big walnuts.
Do you have brain damage from those walnuts? Like, why would I listen to you?
Genuinely sure. Yeah, I'm genuinely sure I do.
So, what would you say to people that say that you are compromised because you are friends with designers and you have relationships with people in the industry?
Yeah, I just personally am like, we are friends with designers. And frankly, like we do get paid sometimes to do playthroughs and previews and stuff like that. But at the same time, like I said, we've not really played games that we haven't enjoyed, and I think we have a good enough relationship with the friends who are designers where we can push back and be like, hey, we didn't really like this. And there have been times where I've given feedback on like rulebooks or mechanics. There's some stuff that I would love to talk about, but I can't because of NDAs. But like there have been times where I've like kind of argued back and forth pretty heavily with designers. We've not showcased those games on the channel, but I think we are friends with designers. But again, our position in the market is not to convince you to buy a game. We're just a friend group wanting to share our love of games with the internet. And if that resonates with you, that's fantastic. But like, I have a full-time job, and I don't need like commission rates off of games to survive, if that makes sense. Right. So I think if anything, there's a point where we're not biased because of that. Like we all have full-time jobs. We all self-finance this. Like I said, we get paid a little bit, and that's mainly just because we took out debt to buy cameras and build the studio. Once that's paid off, like we're not going to be doing this full-time in a sense of like, hey, I have to make sure that I have a really good relationship with this publisher, because if I don't, then I might not be able to pay my bills. I just want to have a good relationship with the publisher because in real life we're friends, if that makes sense.
Right.
Keep losing Matt.
We've lucked out.
Yeah.
We've lucked out where anytime we've actually like thought, oh, okay, this game isn't great or something, I'll be honest, we messed up the rules somewhere.
Yeah, that's
and
happened
we didn't
to me.
Understand the mechanic. And
have you made a video?
And then we go back
on that? That's really embarrassing.
No, but we've gone back and go, oh, that's how. Okay, well, I don't have a gripe with this anymore because it was me messing it up, not the design that was messed up.
I mean, you could it was actually blame the rule book writer, but other than that, it was your fault.
Yeah. No, so it's interesting. You mentioned Fractured Sky. That's one of the games. Yeah. And really? You said you love it. We did not realize that you could use skimmers to secure rewards because we misinterpreted that in the rulebook. But I felt good
because that for a little bit.
We held an event. Yeah, we held an event for Ivy Studio for the new expansion.
Yep.
And Lily came down and she said, "Oh, well, it's funny that you mentioned that because I also didn't think that." And like, she literally works for the company and helped
Right.
playtest it and stuff. Yeah. And even she didn't realize that until like 2 days before the event. So after we figured that out, we were like, "Oh my gosh, that fixes like all of our issues with this game." Because we were just like, "How can you get enough resources to do anything?" And then you just use skimmers. That's right. The solution. Yeah. But thankfully, we made our video on Fractured Sky after we realized that. So
I know, right?
Right.
That's the closest we got.
Yeah, I mean,
we also dive. We also really dive into things like just between the group, especially Eli and I. If there's something out, we're gonna spend 40 hours figuring something out about the game if we really enjoy it.
That's true.
And
oh my goodness, you should have seen. So we did a playthrough for the new Voidfall expansion recently, and I'm in the Discord, the Mind Clash Discord with these two. And there's channels all about Voidfall, and Robert went on like probably like, you know, I don't even know how to explain it, a novel's worth of messaging back and forth with people of like how to understand theory crafting, like how to make his faction work. It was just like, my goodness, like this is above the Call of Duty for what we were doing for the video, but Robert just actually wanted to win, so
we were just so excited, and he did, and I was genuinely very proud. That's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that. Like, that's another thing with games is when it comes to like our friendships with designers. I've like I said, there have been a few times where I've like argued kind of aggressively about like certain designs and like sent like, hey, mathematically speaking, here's a formula that breaks down why this is not mechanically balanced.
Right.
But like we usually dive really deep into games. I think. Like some of the stuff we've not reviewed, we like legacy games and stuff like that, is because we feel it's weird to, not weird because, you know, everyone has different levels of standards. But for us, I don't want to do a review of like Oathsworn after playing 2 sessions of it because of that honeymoon phase we talked about. Like, I might get bored of it after 10. And I also the game's
totally different as you go through, right? Like there's so much content you haven't seen. I laugh when I see videos where people are, I mean, a lot of them, to be fair, they're calling it impressions and all of that. But, you know, I'm a big proponent of it, just definitely disclosing how much you have played of a game. And I don't hear that all the time.
You saying that makes me be like, we should do that. If we ever dive into reviews, I actually really appreciate that as an idea of like, hey, I've played this game 12 times, or hey, I've played this game 3 times. 3 times, I'm going to be saying, well, I'll listen to you, I'll hear you out, but I'm not putting a lot of weight in what you're saying. But it's interesting.
I don't think there's enough context in reviews, and there's a lot of different ways like you can provide context. The number of plays, who you've played them with. Like even if you really think about some of your best playthroughs of all time, a lot of it has to do with who's at the table with you. No audience ever knows that. They do know that in playthroughs. You all do great playthroughs, and I like watching the playthroughs, but people's attention span is so damn short that they don't watch playthroughs. You know what they want? They want a 36 game in 10-minute review, and so they can see all these games and with no like true context, deep diving, which is fine. I get it. But who you play with, how many people you play, how many times you played, and who you are. I think you touched on this, Eli, a little bit about like almost feeling, I'll put words in your mouth, like an imposter syndrome on not playing enough games or that is important, right? Who are you as a gamer? Like when Tom Vassell, I'm interviewing him on Friday, talks to me about playing a game, I don't know how relevant that is to me, to be honest. And I'm going to ask him this, like, how relevant do you think your opinion is to a normal person? I feel like I've gotten jaded over time. I always go back to the example where Wingspan was a 10. Depending on when you talk to me about Wingspan, I would have sold it to you. Bottom line, you know, I just played Coming of Age today. I will sell that to everyone. I think it's absolutely incredible. If I'm 3-4 plays down the line, I might have say, oops, you know, I'm not going to pull it off the shelf again. You know, so all of that is super important, but also what's your taste like? Eli, you've rated some games, 62 reviews on Cardboard. You and I have an 83% match. So when I look at all of the different mechanics that we like, genres we like, and then levels of complexity, luck, interaction, rules overhead, all of that stuff. In general, we match at an 83% clip. So when you tell me that you like a game, I'm going to listen, and I'm going to say, you know, I bet I probably have a pretty good chance of liking that if you like it as well. The same time, we might have a 50% match, and you might say, in fact, Robert, you only put 10 ratings on there, but you and I have a 61% match right now. 10's not quite enough to get a like, but let's just imagine you rated everything you've ever played. I'm probably not going to listen to you, Robert, you know, because or I won't go buy a game because you say you love it. I want to hear what Eli says. I think all of that context is missing, and that's what's driven me crazy with people arguing with me in comments about, like, you know, liking the game, not liking the game, whatever. It's like, how the hell do you know? You don't know me. You don't know what I've played. You don't know what I've played recently. You don't know if I've overplayed trick-taking games recently. Like, all of that, context is missing, and reviews are problematic. So, you know, I sort of applaud you from staying away from them, but I know you're looking into doing them.
It's a tough thing to balance, because we kind of hinted on it a little bit, how board gaming is such a niche hobby. And one of the things we'd love to do is hit a point where we have a bigger subscriber base and a consistent audience, and, you know, like, we can just see the channel continue to grow. And we're working at that, and we're trying to do it in an honest way. But I mean, it is true that one of the things that does well are like top 10 lists or reviews and like rapid fire stuff like that. And I think it's silly, because I've seen a lot of sentiment on this where people are kind of like hateful towards content creators for making that kind of content. And it's like,
I mean, kind of am, but I make it too.
Well, it's like,
you have to.
It's like we post a playthrough and you don't watch it, but we post a top 10 and you watch it and say, why do you make this content? Like, I'd love to see other things. It's like, we're trying to do other things. But
well, like, for a great example is, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, for us to grow, like, we have to do the thing that gets eyes on the channel. That's not selling out. That's not us giving, you know, it's not us giving false opinions. You know, like our highest view videos where just me and Eli are talking about little trinkets and things you can buy off of Amazon to like improve your board gaming experience. And it's just like, and it's just
full disclosure, we've made about $30 off of that video. So
those Amazon links, buy Hugo's amazing tape. But anyways,
it is amazing.
It is incredible.
Not a sponsor.
Is that for repairing boxes?
No, I actually have some sitting right here.
Oh, there you go.
It's invisible, like it's invisible tape that doesn't stick to anything, but it sticks to itself.
Yeah.
So you can wrap it around like a deck of cards, and it will hold itself together without being like a tape.
Oh, so you're making essentially your own like deck holder or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
It's fantastic for organizing games.
All right, put your link in there. I'm gonna buy some and make you 3 cents.
Appreciate it.
Probably like a fraction of a cent, if we're honest.
We can go get some. We can go get some silica beef from Taco Bell. We can go get like one.
Oh, you wish. You know how much?
We're going to buy a lot more.
We might be able to put a down payment on a hot dog.
Absolutely. I've seen the new method is to Klarna your Costco hot dog. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
To those videos, I tell this story all the time. I'm sitting here, I'm editing this 9 games I wish I played sooner. And I think it's the biggest piece of shit video I've ever made in my life. And I'm just like, I really do. I hate it. I felt like my takes were bad. Like, I just didn't like the way I showed up on camera, all of this stuff. And I was like, you know what? I need to get a video out. So I'm going to put this thing out. And it, it sucks. I probably shouldn't have done that. Right now, it is by far my highest viewed video. Like I think it's like 150,000 views or something stupid.
Wow! Congratulations.
Well, but it's also how shallow is this? Where it's literally the video that I am least proud of ever, and it is.
I get it, man.
List videos sell, which is so annoying. Because I don't play enough games. I don't have enough list videos for everyone. You know, I'm not one of those guys that constantly am getting, new games in. I like to dive deeper into games myself. But yeah,
absolutely.
That, how do you think about like your goals on the channel and growth and kind of like your why? Like, what? Let's go around. What's everybody's why? Why the hell are you doing this? Why are you subjecting yourself to debt? People making bad comments, assuming that you're making money and you're not making anything at all. Like, what are you doing this for?
I'll start. I think for me, like, it's 100% the opportunity to spend more time with my friends. Like, we are legitimately friends. We would be playing board games without the cameras. My day job is making videos. I make documentaries about farmers all like 40 hours a week.
Really?
It's super fun, super cool. And so that was why there was, a year and a half ago, we were in a chat, Eli, Robert, Taylor, several other people. And I was like, we could make videos. I was like, yeah, we could. I know how to make videos. Like, let's do it. And so for me, the why is 100% just spending time with my friends, doing something that's fun, getting the opportunity to play more board games. That's what it's all about for me.
I'll backpack off of that. Speaking of, our first video that we made was a Moonrakers playthrough, and we had 19 subscribers at the time, all of them friends or us. And
I was gonna say, how did you have 19? That's insane.
We started with 12 or 11 because of the group. But then I was just like, hey, Mom, will you subscribe to our YouTube channel? And then I sent it to Austin from IB Studio, and I was like, this is the coolest thing anyone has ever made. And I'm going to tell you something.
It's awful
right now.
It's awful.
It's awful.
It's so bad.
The top cam.
We can see Eli's feet.
Cell phone.
Yeah,
you can. Full display, free feed, dude. In this economy, I can't even afford Taco Bell, and I'm out here putting my feet on the internet. But yeah, no, we had a top cam that was a cell phone. We didn't focus lock it, so it's just like going in and out the whole time.
I've got some videos like
awful.
that. So annoying.
It's awful.
Yeah, but we were just so excited, and like I think I want to like paint. We talked a little bit about the pain we've gone through. Like when we used to film, what we would do is Matt would bring some camera gear over, and we would rearrange my dining room. I'd like we had like a light fixture. We would pull it and like affix it to a C-stand with some rope. And then we would just
didn't
set
Matt
up these
almost
cameras.
put it through the window or something? I think I watched that short today.
He did. Absolutely almost did. And that's whenever we decided, hey, maybe we should do a studio. But we would get together and we would have to figure out, because, like part of the thing about having a big group like this is you have to schedule when it works for everybody, and that makes it tough. So we would do what was called bonanzas, and we would say, hey, this weekend is when everyone is together, and we're going to film like 3 months worth of playthroughs, and then we're just going to get. And it's like I think our first root playthrough, we had played like 7 games before our first root playthrough, and it was like 1 in the morning, midnight, whenever we were filming it, and to keep that kind of energy and make sure that we were still going is tough on its own. But like we were subjecting ourselves to that. Rearranging my dining room, like doing 4 hours of setup and tear down every single time we get together, on top of agreeing to do like rush edits for publishers, because this is like, we didn't have any context in this ecosystem. So I was messaging publishers and saying like, hey, we're awesome. Check out our Moonrakers video. You can see my feet for free.
Oh no.
we're awesome. We would love to do a playthrough for you guys. And we were getting these games, and I was agreeing like, hey, we're going to do a playthrough for free. And very quickly it became like Matt and I and Taylor, like we would edit until like, mainly Matt, for like the first 6 months. He would edit until like 2 in the morning up until the game, or up until the video was ready or due. And then I would review it until like 4 in the morning. I'd leave my notes. Matt would make the notes in the morning. He'd render it. And then like we would both be miserable the next day. And there came a point where we were like, we have to make a studio. And that's kind of made the workflow a lot better. But at the end of the day, like, we want to just do this because we're hanging out with friends. And I think that's another thing, like with the whole, like, your obligation to people who are watching your channel. We will always like try to be honest and sincere and good people. But like what we want our draw to be is like, if you enjoy watching friends hang out and play games and you want to feel like you're part of the table, that's the goal.
Yeah.
And like we talked about, like how it's loveless sometimes. Like Voidfall, for example, got like 1,000 views, which is not bad for our channel. We've not had anything crack like more than 7,000, I think is our highest. But Voidfall, we played it like 12 times before filming, 4 hours apiece.
Yeah.
100+ hours of editing between
editing.
like between like
B-roll.
yeah, it was like all of the B-roll, card pop-ups, everything. That was like a huge project, and I mean, candidly, we did get a little bit of money from Minecraft for promoting it, but it was still like, if you do the math on that, I'm basically making like $4, $2 an hour. So it is a labor of love, and it's just because we love board games and we love each other. It's like, again, we're playing with toys with their friends. What's better than that?
100%. Well, one time, I had thought that, okay, I'm going to make the craziest video I can. I just learned After Effects. So I made a Lost Ruins of Arnak, kind of like an ode to Lost Ruins of Arnak. And it literally took me like 100 hours. And it like popped and gave me like, I don't know, a few hundred views. It's gotten a few thousand views at this point, but it was literally the thing that I put the most effort into ever. Yeah. And it gave me the least amount of return. Meanwhile, I make that stupid 9 games I wish I played earlier. And it's just people keep watching it. It's every month. It's my most watched video. It's so insane. Like the incentives on this are so backwards and drive me absolutely nuts.
For sure. For sure.
Robert, why did you do this?
Really just different things. So like kind of like how we talked about earlier, I'm more having to watch a video to kind of understand how a game works and stuff. I think Eli said I don't give myself enough credit, but I'm typically one of the slower ones in the group to pick up on all the things, like all the mechanics or something. And then I'll go really deep into it and figure it all out. But it takes me a little bit longer. And then I'm a teacher, so I'm watching videos and I'm like, hey, these things don't make sense. Like the way you're describing it is not how you should be describing it. So like when we go into doing different videos, like I'm making a list of, all right, how would I teach this to my kids?
Yeah.
We're going to go in and that's how we're going to structure how to play or how to learn a game. And then, again, we lucked out by having so many friends. My girlfriend, she's been in a board game group since she was like 12. Like her family back where she's from, they have 500 to 600 games, like an entire downstairs, 4 custom board game tables. Every week they'd meet up and stuff. So getting to, explore board games with her, getting to meet, see all the friends and everything has just been great.
Yeah, it's I would say you're headed in the right direction. I think your channel is great. How do we get you, and all of us, so I'm a small creator as well. Like, how do we get you more noticed? And I really think it's just continuing to be authentic and I'm doing everything I can. Will I never make a top 10 video again? I'll probably make a few, but I recognize that this is what I love to do, is to talk to you all and learn about new people and meet designers and all of that stuff. But it's also not the best thing to do to grow, but it's also the thing that makes me the happiest. And I think kind of living authentically through the camera and doing what you all want to do is going to end up, being so much better in the long run. And I would say, I think you said you could never film TI4. Do it. Like, do a full day live stream. You know how many like cool shorts you could cut out of that? And just That's true. You could literally put hundreds of shorts. You could put a short up every single day for the rest of the year off of just cool interactions that you might have with other people.
Sure.
And go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that, if you were to a fly on the wall in like our Discord channel, and like, I know me and Eli's like personal DMs back and forth, like we have all these conversations of like, how do we grow? How do we do this? How do we do that? And I think every one of us at some point has ended a conversation with, well, I think what we've come to is that we just need to keep on chugging. Like, we just need to keep doing what we're doing, keep enjoying what we're doing. And to your point, being authentic. I mentioned that I make videos about farmers. And I'll tell you this, farmers don't like having cameras put in their face. But the thing I always tell them is that the way that this video is good is if you're authentic. If you are who you are, then it will be good because it's a representation of you that's true. And I think that's the same in the board game space, right? It's if we remain authentic to who we are and what we think and how we feel and what makes us happy, then numbers be damned. We're successful, right?
Yep. But it's also hard. Like, you spend so much time, right? Like, literally, this is the epitome of a passion project for every single person that starts doing it, right? And getting less than you would have expected in terms of just people viewing it, or even you see how many people actually even see your thumbnail as well. And sometimes you look and you go, I'm sad about that. Like, I just spent so many hours doing that. It's like, it's hurt my psyche in some cases, and I've taken long breaks and I've just had to kind of eventually learn and really find my why, right? And I think that's that's what I'm still exploring and still trying to find. I never interviewed anyone up until like my last 10 videos, and it's like, okay, well, maybe this is what I want to do. Maybe this is what's making me happy. This is what's getting me excited. But I do think the algorithm is really difficult for smaller channels to break through consistently. And that's another, I'm going to keep plugging Cardboard, but that's another reason why I am having creators come onto Cardboard is I want a space where I can match you based upon the kind of channel you are and the games that you're covering, not because you had the best thumbnail or you collaborated with a big channel or you're making top 10 videos. Like, I think there's deeper content out there that people never really even see. And that's the difficulty because not enough people watch it long enough in the first 2 hours. I fully believe a channel like you should have tens of thousands of subscribers. But, in the scheme of things, within a year, you guys are doing great. So
absolutely.
But, I would love to find a way for more people to find you. And me.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's been, I have a career in ad tech. I do like online marketing for, well, not online, I do like traditional TV advertising. So the hardest thing for me is I come from a world where like the impressions that we're seeing are like terrible. Like I would be very displeased if a campaign that I was managing had this ROI. But for me, I also suffer from what Matt has dubbed main character syndrome. Again, I sent people the Moonrakers video and I was like, we're the best channel on YouTube. You should work with us. So it's true. I do have a little bit of it. But I think it's true. Like, one of the things that we've had to do, myself especially, is if you go back and you watch our first video and then you watch like a video 4 months from then and then 4 months from then all the way up till now, we have like improved every single time. And I think our audio quality is really solid now. There's like a little bit that I want to refine, but our video quality is great. Our studio is great. We have done a lot in just 1 year. And I talked to some people who've been making videos for like 10 years and they've only got like 300 subscribers. So there's always that 100%. You need to find humility in the position that you're at. But like, I'm just so hungry to be successful and like continue to grow that I want to at least learn and like see what I could be doing differently. And you've talked a little bit about how frustrating it is that the audiences really prefer top 10 lists, right? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, some of the times I've had conversations with our publisher friends, it's like, what can we do that provides most value? And a lot of the times it's just do what you've been doing, which is like have a playthrough, have fun. That's all that we care about, which is what I love. I love getting that answer. But sometimes it's been like, hey, have you guys considered making like a shorter video because we found that people watch that more? And there is that kind of that issue where if you're not interested in Voidfall, you're probably not going to watch a 2-hour Voidfall playthrough. Or if you love Voidfall, you're probably not going to watch a 2-hour Voidfall playthrough because you already know that you're going to like it and enjoy it. So we have to like find that balance. We're trying to experiment with new formats. What I don't want to do is lose the heart of our channel. Like, I want to make sure that at the end of the day, we're still just friends having fun. Like, we're talking about getting into photography and doing some more like user-generated content, but I want the soul to still be there. I still want it to be at its heart, friends just having fun and playing games. And I think in that pursuit of growth, it's tough sometimes because, like you said, you'll put a lot of effort into a video and then it won't get a lot of views. And we talked about the imposter syndrome a little bit. For me, especially coming from the ad tech background, I get nervous that, like, oh, I hope that publisher is not offended. And I think as we continue to make more progress and, like, talk to more people and learn more about the ecosystem, I've learned that usually the publishers are just happy to have some form of coverage. That's like all that they really care about.
Yeah.
But for me, like, I'm so competitive that I'm like, oh, well, like we played Emberheart for Mind Clash and we're like the 6th video down. It's like, I want to be the top video. How do we do that?
Right.
It's just, figuring out that balance of wanting to be the best while also, like, maintaining humility and not losing sight of who we are.
We're also gamers, right? And what do we want to do? We want to win the game, right?
I want to win the game. Yeah, it's
and
true.
this is very much a game. In fact, I made a video a while ago about, like, I think it was a year or two ago, about YouTube is a board game, and I made all these connections. But yeah, it really is, and it does kind of, like, speak to, the gamification is the subscribers and the likes and that dopamine is really wonderful when one hits, but it also is crushing when it doesn't, and you expected it to happen. You had mentioned the other channels that have been doing this for 10 years with 600 subscribers. You all have gotten partnerships with publishers that people would dream of that have been doing this for years. Speak a little bit about, like, what you've done to kind of foster those relationships. The Voidfall thing's perfect. Minecraft didn't reach out to me. I have one of the best performing Voidfall videos that they had with the first thing. They didn't reach out to me. How are you guys creating these relationships and getting these review copies or able to make these videos for these publishers? I think a lot of creators would want to know, like, what's your secret sauce?
So that is the question. A lot of it,
Eli's dumb luck.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say Eli's charm, but dumb luck. We can honestly go with that.
No, it's like one of the things that I did as a side business that I still kind of run is an exotic plant nursery. It's not drugs, I promise. That's
very cool.
I run an exotic plant nursery, and there was one night where I couldn't sleep, and I was like, man, I'm kind of spending too much money on these plants. They're carnivorous plants. They're awesome. But I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to message, to the point, so many people on Facebook that I got banned temporarily for being a bot. Just like that desire to, like, I don't care if I get told no 999 times as long as, like, one person says yes. And it worked. And I found a network of suppliers, and I've been able to make that plant business work. But the board game thing was kind of the opposite. I was like, hey guys, because of the plant stuff, I'm totally fine to do biz dev. I have no problem cold calling publishers and getting told no. I set up our email to forward to my personal email, and we've had in our YouTube description, like, you can contact us at the Grove Games. And it had been like 6 weeks, 8 weeks since we posted videos, and we had one that did kind of well. I think it was Critter Kitchen. It was like at 5,000 views.
Good
which
game.
At the time, that was like our third video. Yeah. We were excited about it. But I was surprised that nobody had reached out. And so I checked the email just, out of curiosity. We had like 12 messages from publishers. And they were like wanting to just wanting to talk to us. And I was like, oh my God, it had been like a month and I had not responded. And I am the type of person who I will typically respond to an email within 24 hours. Yeah. Sometimes within like an hour if I have the time. So for me, that was devastating. And I messaged all these publishers back and I said, we're so sorry, we'd love to work with you guys. And a lot of it was just like, hey, we want to add you to our media list. But there were two that I will say are really like our board game godparents. It's Chris from Chris Gus Games. He wanted to work with us on Holiday Hills. And then it was Jenna from Inside Up Games. And those two, Jenna was like, hey, we'd love you guys to do a playthrough for Earth and for the latest Animal Kingdom. And we were like, yeah, let's do it. And that was back whenever we were so new, we had no concept of like a rate sheet or anything. We agreed to do Earth Animal Kingdom. We had never played Earth before. We had never played Earth Abundance. And me, in my infinite wisdom, said, hey, we're going to do a comprehensive how to play of the base game, the Abundance expansion, and the Animal Kingdom expansion, and then do a full playthrough with both expansions. And we had 6 days to do it. And we did it. But it was a horrible idea.
Yeah. Well, we had very early on said that, like, and kind of with this video said, we're only going to showcase something for a company if we've played the game 4 times.
Yes.
So we, in 6 days, pre-played Earth 4 times, shot shot all the
Not just
B-roll
Earth.
playthrough.
We did Earth,
how to play
then Earth,
Rotoscript.
Abundance, and Animal Kingdom. We had to do each one incrementally
Yep.
so we could have a comprehensive view of how it all flowed together.
I think, but between the five or six of us that worked heavily on that project, there might have been 10 hours of sleep in that 6 day period. It was bad.
It was
we made mistakes.
But,
what you guys have like 11, 12, 13 people. Like, come on, spread the work a little bit.
we've learned to do that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is we didn't have when we jumped in, so let's just say we weren't smart about it. We didn't start with a backlog of videos. We just went straight in.
That's a really good point.
It wasn't just, okay, hey, we have a video edited and ready to go out next week. It was, all right, we filmed all these things. All right. And at the time, we only had Matt.
Yeah.
I think maybe
I edited the first
in Austin
videos, I think.
Editing?
In Austin,
I think Earth was the first
so I was
one.
like, all right, these are going out. Yeah, it was like, have fun, bud.
Yeah, we were filming that week, and 2 days later, the video had to be fully edited.
Get it done.
Because that's the thing. We try to do our due diligence and do our playthrough, then we play it, and then we edit it, and then we have like multiple people review it to make sure that there's no like jump cuts and that the audio sounds good. Right. And then after the review, we do a second review to make sure it's good. So like we probably do way too much, but it's just
you do.
We pride ourselves. We pride ourselves in it. We want to make sure that we're making good quality content that people can enjoy. But anyway, to loop back to that question, I think just the thing that I've been told, looping back to the imposter syndrome, is that we come across as very authentic, and we just we make a game like an enjoyable experience where people feel like they're able to sit at the table and have fun and kind of like play the game along with us, and that's been the goal from the start.
That is
so
100%.
I want to say
yes.
No, I appreciate it. It's kind of like, I want to say there's some secret sauce to it, but it feels like we've kind of lucked into this, and it's there's always going to be a bigger fish. Like I said, we've not had a video really even break 10,000. I think we just hit 100,000 views as a channel. Like we're 120,000 or something like that so far. We're still seeking that like 100,000 plus view video that could be like a breakout or something like that. But I think just staying true to yourself, and then also just taking the time to make sure that you are. We found that video you can kind of get away with being okay. Audio is really important, and there are microphones that aren't that expensive. If I had like one piece of advice, because I think our audio's fine. Like, and Matt disagrees. He thinks it's like one of the best out of any channel, like in our studio at least. I think it could be improved, but. Just taking a look at your audio, like looking at channels that are successful, seeing what they're doing, and then seeing what you can do to improve your own standing. Because at the end of the day, if your goal is to, I mean, it depends on what your goal is, right? Like if your goal is to just get a free game from a publisher, that's easy. You can just make a short and just get on some media lists, and then you'll get sent games. Like you can even just take pictures and put it on an Instagram channel. But it just depends on what you want, but I think staying true to yourself and just making sure that at the very least, if I had one piece of advice, there's a lot of channels that could improve their audio. And I know that's ironic because I'm apparently talking out of my webcam right now. But
I was wondering if people are going to comment that.
You are.
Like, oh, you sound like shit right now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you sound good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I think too, maybe the secret sauce that Eli's going to be like, don't say that. Is that Eli has no concern about when he reaches out to a publisher like looking silly. My internet. And so I think that to the point, he reached out to Ivy Studios when we put a video out that showed his feet and had a blurry top cam and it, like was awful, but like him reaching out like to companies like that has definitely helped. You know, they're never going to see you just naturally, right?
Which is hilarious because Ivy Studios is probably the most concerned with production across their videos, their playthroughs, their actual games. That's hilarious that's the one.
To be clear, they did not work with us after that video. It took us back around.
They shouldn't have. I would question them if they did.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
We've had some absolute we've had some absolute bangers. You know, like there's always a publisher. I think that's another thing, not being afraid to be told no, because like that's the worst that's going to happen. Is they're going to say no,
or
yeah,
Ghost is the worst.
Being ghosted,
like, oh, maybe
being
they'll
ghosted
answer.
Worse.
Maybe they haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Well, and then here's the secret, man. Just message them 3 more times, and like every 6 weeks, just set a reminder and send them another message. You can wear people down until they say yes. Just ask Becca. I'm just kidding. I was terrified of asking her on a date. I was terrified of asking her on a date, and apparently she was into me. It's fine. It's fine. But all that to say, but all that to say, with the publisher stuff, we've had the classic problem of number not big enough, which I get as someone who's in ad tech. Like some of the bigger publishers have said, like, you know, your views just aren't there yet. Totally understand it, especially for a paid opportunity, right? Like you shouldn't pay us to do that because it's silly. You need your marketing budget to be, especially with as razor thin as the margins are in board games, you need your marketing budget to go farther. Totally get it. But I think not being afraid to be told no, not being afraid to just like, I think just this week I've sent like 40 emails to publishers, just being like, hey, I see this game's coming out that looks really cool. I'd love to be added to your media list. I would love to be considered if you guys want to do a playthrough. Reviews are always free, but you know, our opinions are going to be our own. But we would, we've started talking about doing reviews. The first one we did was Stone Saga, but for the most part, I'm just like, here's our rate sheet, here's our media sheet. We're a small channel. We're pretty cool. Here's a link to our channel. As Cadelia, who's the manager of like all that the social media, I don't want to butcher her title, but she handles all like the coordination with the content creators that All Play handles. She had a really good post about whenever you contact a publisher, make sure you include clickable links, like basically a TLDR that's like, here's our channel, here's our core audience, here are our numbers, we'd love to work with you. And I think that's really important because after talking to some of our friends in the industry, like it's typically one person handling sometimes multiple companies worth of communication. So making it really easy for them to follow up. And then something that I've really struggled with that I've recently started being better about is stating what you want. Not in a you owe me way, but like, hey, I want to do a playthrough for you guys. We have an in-house studio, we can crush it. If you don't have an in-house studio, that's totally fine. Just be confident in who you are and what you want to do.
Fake it till you
and
make
then
it.
Again, yeah, honestly, and then not
even
being
if your
afraid to
feet
be
are
told
in the
no.
frame.
Even if your feet are in the frame. Or
even
sometimes that's a bonus.
Especially.
Sometimes that's a bonus.
Depending on who it is,
Look,
pay good money for that.
We
look at that video.
Sure.
Yeah, we did make a pact that we would not take that video down because
no, you can't.
It's a good bookmark, right? It's a good
Keeps us humble.
Look where we started. Look at all the corners we were cutting trying to make this work.
Yeah.
And
that's another thing about just having a channel as a whole. Like maybe we never get to, 100,000 or whatever. At least we can always look back and go, hey, I have all these memories of my friends. 30 years down the line, I can go, oh man, I remember we did this one game. I just don't remember what happened. I can go back and I can rewatch it and just relive.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, imagine when this. It doesn't matter if I move 10 states over, if Eli moves, or if Matt moves or someone. We always have these connections we can look back on. So
yeah.
That's 100%. A really, really good point.
Speaking of connections, and Moonrakers, you seems like you have a pretty good relationship with Ivy Studios. You've even held events, I saw. Talk a little bit about how that relationship's kind of come around. I'm jealous. I really want to play Honor's End, by the way. That looks incredible.
It's so good. Dude, okay. So I'm sure you've noticed. Another reason why we've been a little hesitant on reviews is I do not have a good filter. I just kind of talk
get
about
excited, right?
Fights.
Yeah,
I get excited. Honor's End is so fun, man. It's like I don't.
Well,
I know
it's
so
have
good.
an 83% match rate, so I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to go ahead and get.
And
that.
I hated it the first time I played.
Really?
I did not.
He did.
I was like this. I was like, there's no reason for this to exist. Slay the Spire beats it in every case, and then they make some changes, and I think it at least hangs with Slay the Spire. It might be better when the narrative comes out. But anyway,
we aren't getting spoiled by the campaign. We've refused to playtest further in because I don't want to be spoiled about it.
Right.
It's true. but yeah, the Ivy Studio thing. So I reached out to Austin from Ivy Studio, and he was like, "Hey, this is great." Actually the best feedback we've gotten, and I won't drop who the publisher was, but the best feedback we've gotten is that we did a playthrough and we rushed it out and we did a good job with it. We got told, "Thanks so much for the passionate content," and they've never talked to us again, which is objectively hilarious.
Yeah.
But the Ivy Studio thing is they started doing these tours, and we were just like, "Hey, we'd love to be involved." And then they reached out to us, and we made that work. And now that we've started doing tours, we've been able to do it more. They've got a new game coming out, Altera, that we're going to be hosting an event in Little Rock. Matt and Robert, this is news to you as well. June 7th is the date.
Okay, cool. I'm going to be interviewing Austin soon, probably.
Cool.
In May at some point to talk about that game.
I've only briefly talked to him. We met at Gen Con in person for the first time. I know he's watched a few of our things, but we hung out with Lily a little bit at the Fractured Sky one that we did. But they're great. I think that's the thing about Ivy Studio that I love is just that their games, again, like they feel authentic. But that relationship is just like we're not like super tight. We really want to go to Tennessee game days because I want to kick Austin's ass at Twilight Imperium. It's one of his favorite games. And then I feel like I will have earned his friendship at that point, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. You must prove yourself, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I think we've just like talking about wearing them down. I've sent them a lot of messages. I'm very active in their Discord. I've play tested a lot of stuff. Just being a positive presence in the community is important. And I think whether or not you want to work with publishers in a professional sense, like just doing that in general, like even as someone who's not making content, is important. And it has perks. Like there's several people in the Discord, the Ivy Studio Discord, who don't make content, and they are able to do the tour just because they're like pillars in the community and they are positive role models in the community. And Ivy Studio is good about recognizing that. But
beautiful.
The tours are sick.
Go around real quick. Who do you all want to work with the most that you haven't worked with yet?
That's a good question.
For me, and I've made Eli. Again, I'm good at the cameras. I'm not good at the biz dev part. I have pushed Eli to try and get something with Paverson Games. I'm Ringyo.
Did you like
I play
Distilled?
tested it. It's great. Distilled's good. Luthier, love it.
Yeah.
I love an engine builder for what it's worth. So,
hey.
So anyway, Paverson Game.
They hit us with a we saved your email address, that's progress, baby.
Like, okay.
Last time they ghosted us, so yeah.
We'll go ahead and mention them in this,
After Gen Con, they ghosted me. This time I got an email back. That's progress.
Robert, who do you want to work with?
There you go. Honestly, I'm between two. Really like Barry Giant would be fun. Obviously, new one with Cole Worley. Would be interesting to talk to him a little bit. We should have some fun.
We'll talk about
for a lighter thing would be I'm a huge Cardboard Alchemy fan, so that'd be a fun one for me.
Very cool. Yeah, Barry Giant is. I think they're going to be doing some really cool stuff. Have you guys played Oath? You seem like an Oath group.
Yes, we've not played the new expansion, but
Cole seems very excited about what their plans are in the future with Oath. He kept going in our conversation when I interviewed him. Kept going back to Oath. So
it's
I'm
a
excited
really
to see
cool
where they
system.
go.
Have you played it?
No.
It's a cool. I definitely wait for the expansion.
It's been some years.
It's been several years. It's got really good generative storytelling. It's one of Austin, who's on the channel. It's his favorite game of all time. He loves it. It's got some really cool systems that the expansion. I'm sure you heard about it. It reworks it and makes it better in ways that I think will be less fiddly for people who aren't willing to just like slog through it to learn it. But yeah, I'm very excited about that for sure. I laughed whenever Robert said the thing about Cole Worley, because you love ARCs, I love ARCs. We played an ARCs campaign last June. I think it was last June. Robert's
two Junes ago.
Air conditioner. 2 Junes ago. Wow, really? So Robert's air conditioner was out, and we were playing a campaign. We decided to do a whole campaign in like 3 days, and Robert was ready to
2 days.
assault Cole early. Yeah, 2 days. Yeah, Robert was like ready to throw hands with Cole, and it was to the point where
because the AC
got to
was
meet
out.
Cole at Gen Con.
Oh no,
he was just like so
AC
mad
in the middle of summer. It was 94 degrees
So you're just a little
without
grumpy.
Counting humidity.
Yeah.
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 He was,
and then
he was
any
ready to throw
4
hands with
pounds
Cole.
from water weight.
Well, look, and the thing about ARCs is that if you've played ARCs, you know this. No hand is a good hand, but no hand's a bad hand. But in the moment, it really feels like you have a bad hand.
You know what? It's really funny you say
degrees,
that. Yeah. In my last playthrough, I've been saying that forever. No hand's good hand, no hand's bad hand, and I had to and I felt like I had a lot of damn bad hands over and over again, and I had to keep going back to what Cole said. And Cole said, "You only have a bad hand because you made the wrong moves before you got that hand." I was like, "Okay, it's my fault. Oh, you got it, Cole. Okay, yeah. Lord Cole. Yes, this is not a bad hand.
And the thing with them is,
this is all me."
When we were first playing, ARCs was one of the few games I'd play at the time. I've probably played the least of a majority of us in the Grove. There's a few that have played a few less games than me, but ARCs was one of the few. So I'll be 100% honest. I was real grumpy at the sort of fighty sort of game. I'm more of just a, put out some worker placement, have a real chill time, and then
Don't
I'm
you
over
like
here
TI4?
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
I've
seen
he also beat me at Boyd
destroy worlds. He has destroyed worlds.
Well, here's the thing.
In TI4.
I also have a good win rate in ARCs, even though I wasn't a huge fan of it. But now that I've played more games and gotten to actually experience things, I want to go back and I'm like, okay, this mechanic actually isn't so bad. I was just really salty at the time.
Yeah. No,
it was the sweat. The sweat was making
video that went over all the negative takes of ARCs, and it really is. It's a matter of perspective. The number of times you've played in it. To me, it's the question is, do you take that, and do you have enough patience to play multiple games, even though you might not have a good first experience? I had a great first experience, but it's
5?
Really? Whoa.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, I was about to sell it.
Yeah,
I hated it.
We played it 5 times, and I think me and Austin were the ones that really liked it. And then at some point, the trick taking element clicked for Eli, and it just.
I heard the bells, as Cole said. I talked to him in person about this at Gen Con. There's no way he remembers that. I was like the 1,000th person he talked to that day. But I told him about Robert. I said, hey, I've got a friend who wants to punch you in the face because of some misplaced anger.
Serious? My God.
and he said, well, just because he hasn't heard the bells yet. And it resonated with me because you said the thing about vibrating whenever you're playing a game. That's the thing. That's hearing the bells. Yeah, it's a real thing.
For me, it's just a full body fry, like I'm on drugs.
Levitating,
So, Eli, who do you want to work with?
I've got 2. Ironically, Ivy Studio is one of them.
You all have 2. Just answer the question.
It's tough. It's tough. Ivy Studio because I love their games. The other one is Eagle Griffin. We recently went to an event where they invited a bunch of content creators out, so we got to basically just spend a week playing games with Inside Up, Eagle Griffin, the guest publisher there, and I got to play a lot of Eagle Griffin stuff and learn some Lacerda titles and stuff. I love their games. I've loved their games for a while, but ironically, I don't know that I've actually reached out. I mean, obviously, I know them now. I don't think I ever reached out to them about our biz dev. I'm realizing live on camera. But
I reached out, and they said some good things, but then ghosted me. Never got back to me. So
yeah. You gotta be comfortable with it, and then you just follow up. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, remember me? He's like, no, we don't remember you at all.
Right.
All right, so we're about at our time, but tell me what's to come for the Grove. We talked a little bit about ambitions, but what's the future? The next year hold. Where are you guys going with this?
Take it away, Matt.
Well, we've discussed, maybe not getting into full blown shut up and sit down style reviews, but having quicker takes on some games. We obviously want to keep doing playthroughs. That's the heart and soul of what we do. We've toyed with the idea of some other kind of show ideas. Eli's dream of the Unbox This podcast, where it's an audio podcast unboxing games.
Well, it's because he can see everything in his head. That's not everyone, Eli.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Right. That's part of the challenge.
I would hate that.
Look. Hey, niche audience of a niche audience.
Yeah, exactly.
But I know that just continuing to iterate and get better at what we're already doing, I think, is a big thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So do you guys do TTS plays still?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So we got to get together and play some stuff and use that collaborate feature and
yeah.
Let me know. I don't think you ever need a player, but let me know if you'd like a player.
We should play ARCs in TI4 sometime. Like if we can find a free weekend, we can teach you TI4 and just throw you into the deep end.
Okay, let's
I'll
go.
play TI4 tonight.
I was about to drive to Arkansas. I guess that's the easier way to do it.
Look, what are you doing right now? Like,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
all nighter.
Yeah,
we can start call some of the other guys. We got this.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I have nothing but time now, so let's seriously do this. I'd love to play stuff with y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll add you. I'm gonna send you in the email after this. We'll send you an email with my Steam stuff, and we can connect and get it going.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I want to. Matt said the stuff about like kind of our short, medium term goals. My long term goal is to become a household name on how to plays. I love how to plays. I love making them. I love writing the scripts. I love like shooting the B-roll for it. That's like my most ambitious goal is for when someone buys a game from the local game store, I want them to look up, is there a Grove how to play on it? That's my goal.
Okay, we need to talk because I have this. Well, actually, I've already had the built feature, but what I need is how to play people because I have a rules lawyer. So I've basically I have a database full of rules, rule books, and you can ask a question on over 9,000 games. It'll give you answer. However, what I've also built is to take your video in and give the link to the exact time stamp of where you answer that question. So that could be a really good partnership is, throwing your how to plays on there. It could also be really cool for you to go to publishers and say like, hey, we will also be in this automated rules lawyer that then people will be able to, click right through, goes right to your YouTube channel in the exact time stamp. So that could be something that we work on together. I like that.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'll be sending you an email after this for sure.
Beautiful.
Don't ghost me. I will be annoyed if you ghost me.
Yeah. No, we're friends now. I'm part of the Grove, right? Didn't I make the team?
That's true. Yeah. You'll be in the
I'm not going to ghost you. Dude, I don't have a job. Do you have a room? Like...
That's true. You can sleep on the table in the set.
Yeah. Is the set in the garage?
It's in the detached garage. Yeah.
So I can live in there. I'll get out of the way when you start filming. Yeah.
It's like, it's a garage, but you can.
Beautiful set, by the way.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
It was.
Is it air conditioned?
And classic. It is.
Yeah. Okay. I was wondering about that because my shed is not.
Climate controlled.
Sometimes I have to film at certain times, but I'm in Seattle, so it's not that big of a deal.
We have very, very hot summers. We originally didn't have insulation in the attic, so we got that blown like for the shop. And then we added a mini split because my nephew works in AC, so he was able to get us a super good deal. And then we built the set over the course of like a few weeks, and it weighs. If that wall ever falls while we're recording, you're gonna see 4 people get crushed.
I thought you remodeled your house or something. It looks great. Like I was like, oh man,
I appreciate
look at you.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how Eli and I lifted that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look forward to
it. It started as a drawing on a piece of paper that then I sent to Eli, and Eli took it to some of Becca's family are like actual carpenters, and they're like, well, that's a good start, but here's how we actually build this.
Here's how here's how the professionals do it. That's cute and all. But
that's I'm pretty sure that's word for word what was said. They just didn't tell me that. They didn't want to hurt my feelings.
Cool. Robert, Matt, Eli, it's honestly been so awesome talking to you. I'm sure the couple hundred people that'll watch this are gonna fall in love with you. But it's been really cool, and I hope we kind of continue this relationship and
absolutely.
You know, hold each other up, and I hope you guys just crush it because I think you're doing something really cool that a lot of people aren't.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
That means a lot. Those words of affirmation are huge.
Yep, for sure.
And you know what?
It goes both ways.
You've given us a lot. You as well. Yeah, you as well.
Yeah.
You've been doing
Thank
awesome.
you.
We've been watching.
Yeah.
We watched a few of your recent interviews, and they're really cool.
I really
seeing
appreciate
another
that.
side
Just
of people who are making content.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just the fact that you're willing to talk to, you know, you talk to Cole Worley and then you're willing to talk to us. It's like that's very much appreciated,
That
right?
is pretty cool, right? No, I'm just joking.
It is pretty cool.
No, it was. I couldn't believe he said yes. I was like,
Yeah.
"Are you serious?"
Yeah.
Like Tom
Yeah,
Vassell.
that's awesome.
Tom Vassell took like 4 emails and me agreeing to wake up at 4 a.m. to interview him, but he said yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Persistence.
Heck yeah, man. That's exciting. Yeah.
I hope he
exactly.
shows up and people don't see this video and go like, "Why didn't he ever interview Tom Vassell?" Because that could happen at this point.
If it doesn't
I'll
happen, it's
pop
because
back
the
in.
recording.
Right.
failed,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I'll just pop in. I'll wear some like fedora and some suspenders. I can get a.
Well, exactly.
I'll
Are you up at? Well, I guess it would be 7 a.m. where you are, so it's not that early.
Yeah. It'd be rough on me. I'm a night owl.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you all. I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
Enjoy
absolutely.
your
Yeah,
night, and we'll have to do this again for
Yeah.
sure.
Absolutely.
100%.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.